Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and the second ever episode of
What's on the Shelf
with Jerry.
Ba-dum-dum.
Now, as I hope you know, in this series I can take a look at anything that has ever been on a shelf at some point in its life. So, I could really talk about anything. The shelfy object we'll be looking at today is something that has been on my shelf for over a decade. Something of my own creation. Today we'll be looking at a series of comic books I made from about 2008 to 2010 titled Cop Man. Wait! Don't click off. I know you people like to watch the first minute or so of my video and then go away. I see the statistics. I'm not bitter about it. But really though, you have to stick around and see what adventures this Blue Lives Matter supporting superhero has in store for us. For a little bit of context, I grew up in a very small, conservative town where I thought cops were the ultimate force for good and justice. I thought they could do no wrong, and that they were the heroes of our community. I also grew up loving Batman, and spent all my free time eating up all the sweet, sweet Batman content I could get my grubby little hands on. So, knowing my main influences, that will hopefully clear a lot of things up as we dive right into Cop Man, the true story. To-go version. This poor painting. Once there was a planet in space called People Who Save the World of Obia. What a name. On this planet lived superheroes, and that was the day Wonder Woman was pregnant. Wonder Woman. Oh my god. Wonder Woman's got some knockers on her. But I'm actually wondering how I managed to get the rights to use Wonder Woman in this comic book. And I also wonder if this story is canon with the movies. Let's just say it is. And oh my god, this lady is pregnant. So pregnant that we can't even show her giving birth. Thank God. That would be way too graphic. I'm very glad that young me didn't know where babies actually came from, or I probably would have actually drawn this. And I would really hate to see my artistic interpretation of that. But anyways, she has the baby, and eventually, he grew up. Someone saved us! That's gonna be my civilian voice as I read through these things. Someone saved us! Hand over the loot. Needless to say, the man does not hand over the loot, and Cop Man kills him and throws him off the building and says, someone will get you. The ground, Cop Man. The ground will get him. He will die. So after murdering that guy, Cop Man heads back to his lair and sings some Daughtry in his elevator. I'm going home to the place where I belong. He then greets his loyal butler, Zalfred, who promptly tells him, no one is coming to your party. What? Tonight is it! The party is tonight. It is party night. So, luckily people do show up to Cop Man's party, but oh no, there's this short guy with an afro in a leather jacket that says bad guy on the back. Oh no. You know, I was very subtle back in the day when I was writing these. Would never know that guy was the villain. So obviously this guy tries to steal a prized jewel from Cop Man's collection. But don't fret, as he is quickly caught and removed by Cop Man himself. But no sooner than he's taken away does he escape and tie up Alfred and attach a little note to his eyebrow. What? But really though, this is just me. And the note that this fiend left reads, Dear Cop Man, I'm evil. Love Afronine. Afronine. I don't know, he's just a really great writer, even if we can't pronounce his name. I mean, he's truly great. So Cop Man goes off to find him, and he leaves Zalfred wearing a hat for some reason. He finds Afro Dude, and he asks him what his goals are. He replies, money, riches. To be fair, when I wrote this, I think I meant money, riches. But apparently I didn't know what commas were, let alone how to spell. Nonetheless, Cop Man attacks this villain and turns him over to the actual police. Having done his duty, he heads home, stating, "I gonna sleep." Now you know, Copman has a cool life. Take it from me, my life stinks, sometimes. And Afro Boy is now getting a haircut in prison. No afros in prison. I'll remember that. And that's all for Copman number 1, but let's take a look at Copman number 2, Attack of the Tree Hugger. We open on a nature-loving child who has chained himself to a tree that's set to be bulldozed. But this construction worker, he promptly removes him from the tree. This, of course, pisses the kid off. And he says, "I'll show you one day." I'm sure he will, as he eventually grew up. Someone is robbing the bank. There's that civilian voice again. So this guy's now robbing a bank, the tree guy, and Copman shows up, put an end to that, and a high-speed chase breaks out, and Tree Hugger calls Copman ugly, which is a little rude and a little uncalled for, a little harsh. But he takes his eyes off the road, and they both crash into a building. So this exciting chase then continues on foot, until, sadly, the villain escapes. I know. This does not deter Copman, however, as he travels to his lair to get some more information. When he gets there, he discovers some shocking evidence. Kid Tree Hugger. I know that knowing what the villain looked like as a child will definitely help Copman to find his location. Either that or the huge logo on the front of his lair will. Very subtle. No one will ever find this bank robber in this huge abandoned building with his logo on the front of it. So, Copman climbs the wall of the villain's lair and strikes a pose again. And enters the lit chimney. Ballsy move, man. When he gets in, he sees Tree Hugger napping, and he wakes up looking, again, just like me. But wait, this dude knew Copman was going to attack. But however, Copman's actually ripped and promptly breaks into a verse of, "You can't touch this." You'll notice this is a little bit of a trend too. I like to write that my characters break into song for no reason, but that is not clearly conveyed, as it's just words, no little music notes or anything to indicate that it's a song. So it just comes across as weird. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just words on paper, and you can't really convey music on that unless it's one of those singing birthday cards. I really like those. So back to the story. After having some serious damage done to his buck teeth, the Tree Hugger escapes on a rocket. In this rocket, he has mind control gas that he uses to make the civilians dance like zombies. That kind of came out of nowhere. I thought his whole thing was he cared about the environment, but now he's using mind control gas on innocent people? None of my villains in these books have very clear motives at all. It seems like they're just doing whatever, for the heck of it. But as Tree Hugger is basking in what seems to be his latest victory, Copman attacks, locks him up, and unhypnotizes the citizens. Thanks, Copman. What a hero. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that Copman needs a love interest. Well, have I got the book for you. Copman, issue number 3, The Wrath of Longneck. With the mussiest Copman yet. Right off the bat, on the cover of the mussiest Copman yet, Zalfred is getting pushed off of a skyscraper. We'll say that this is the last time you see the original Zalfred, and that he is replaced with a lookalike in subsequent issues. Once there was a girl who loved candy. Candy! But one day, her head got stuck in a taffy maker. Jesus Christ. But you guessed it. Eventually, she grew up. Someone's robbing the flower shop. Civilian voice. She steals what I presume to be Miracle Grow, making her a very, very scary villain. Copman then shows up and tries to stop her for one frame. But she escapes into the ocean, where she apparently has an evil underwater lair. Once she arrives, she pours the stolen Miracle Grow into a pot, and that somehow creates some sort of monster. Ooh. Meanwhile, back at the cop cave, that does not sound like a fun place to hang out. Copman is baffled, and Zalfred is seemingly disgusted. But his alarm goes off, and he discovers someone has robbed the science store. And I apparently had a really hard time spelling science. The robber is shown on the next page to be the monster that Longneck created. And with this new ingredient the monster has stolen, she creates more monsters in her Easy Bake Oven. And they crawl out in a very menacing manner. They have also apparently been fitted with giant top hats and dog collars. Slime monster fashion, I guess. And they terrorize the city until Copman shows up. But alas, the monster throws Copman right into a pond. Wait, he apparently had a giant bottle on him that he filled with pond water. Copman, you're so resourceful. He then pours the pond water onto all the monsters, and killing him. And that was apparently all that it took. Wow. As Copman is celebrating, Longneck shows up and twists all around his leg, lusting over his perfectly sculpted abs. But Copman breaks out. He's jacked, and once again he sings, "You can't touch this." But apparently, this just turns Longneck on. I mean, me too. She wraps him up and asks him, "You want a kiss?" He replies no, which seems pretty cut and dry to me. I mean, no means no, Longneck. Come on. But she kisses him anyway. I'm pretty sure what I was actually going for was like the but it just came across as Copman. But those lips, oh my god. This passionate kiss is apparently just a ruse. Copman gets back at her for kissing him without his consent by punching her into a police car. Justice is served, Longneck. Your time is up. No more forcing yourself on unwilling men, you sicko. That one was thrilling, I know, but it's now time for the last Copman feature we'll be taking a look at today, and one of my personal favorites. A Copman tale in which the influence of Batman 1989 is extremely evident. I'm talking about Copman and the stench of Mr. Skunk. Great spelling on that stench, Jared. A long time ago, this kid with a white streak in his hair was getting bullied by this guy. But once again, you guessed it. Eventually, he grew up. Help! Someone's robbing the perfume factory! We love that civilian voice here. The robber is the skunk-haired kid, and he's doing his thing, announcing very loudly, "Let's rob!" When Copman shows up and puts an end to the shenanigans. "No one robs on my watch." Then Copman shoves him into a vat of skunk smell. Stinky boy. And he just leaves, thinking he's fixed the problem. What a hero. So 2 hours pass by, and Skunk Dude rises from the vat. He apparently didn't die, even though he was submerged in liquid for 2 hours. He discovers that his rear end is now disfigured. "My butt's gone, and there's ash on it." My favorite line. Anyway, not too long after he discovers that his butt's gone and there's ash on it, he's able to find a plastic butt surgeon. Note to self, I actually spelled surgeon right, so I think I'm actually smarter than I thought. He gets very painful plastic butt surgery and is for some reason thrilled that he now has a skunk tail and can fart on people. So, who is the first person that Mr. Skunk is going to subject to his deadly farts? None other than the kid who used to bully him. His name is Lar. It's not even a name. But he farts on him and kills him. This is where the similarities to Batman 1989 kind of end. And if you didn't notice before, I'll lay it out for you right here. So the kid that bullied the Stinky Boy is basically the equivalent of the mob boss in Batman. He's essentially the Joker's boss before he becomes the Joker. The Joker hates him, just like Skunk hates Lar. And just as Joker falls into the vat of acid and becomes disfigured, Skunk falls into a vat of skunk smell, and his butt's gone and there's ash on it. They both seek out plastic surgeons to help with their disfigurements post-vat, and they both come out looking pretty weird. One looking like a clown, and the other with the skunk tail. You can't make this shit up. So now they are both crazy and set out to kill the first person who ever did them wrong. And with Joker, that's the mob boss, and with Skunk, it's Lar. I'll never understand that name. So now that we're all caught up, meanwhile, back at the cop cave, Copman is speaking to the news Alfred, who has hair now. See, I knew the original's Alfred died and was replaced with this Alfred, who is not the same person, because he has hair. So Skunk shows up and silently steals Copman's webcam. I wonder what he could want with that. Yikes. But Copman notices, and another car chase breaks out. As they're zooming and fighting with each other, they crash into a building, which somehow throws Skunk into the back of a police car. And, wow, what a great way to end today's video, looking over just 4 of my homemade childhood comic books. You probably wouldn't be surprised to know that there are way more entries into the Copman series, and yes, that does say Copman in the ugliness of Obama. I was raised in the Bible Belt, okay? I was a child, who for some reason thought Obama was ugly. I mean, what the hell? So anyway, if you want to see more episodes of What's on the Shelf where I look at some of Copman's other adventures, just subscribe, like, leave a comment down below, just interact with this video in any way. I also made some Copman spin-offs that featured his sidekick turned superhero, Tootin', and I also had a series of graphic novels titled Cupcake. So who knows, I may look at those in the future. But until that time comes, I've been Jared. End. Hey guys, I'm coming to you after editing to thank you for watching this video, and to thank my inspiration for this video, Cat Icarus, who made a whole video about comic books he made in his childhood, and I thought that was a great idea, so I did it myself. So if you have the time, give his video a watch. I should have the link down in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.